Hey, this is Stu Schaefer, and I'm about to show you the best exercises you can do if you're a woman to give you a sleek, tight, toned, sexy look that really will enable you to look so good and so tight and toned and feminine no matter how old you are. And this is particularly good if you're over the age of 40. Let me go over a case study really quick and show you what it looks like when you do some of these things. I'm just going to talk about one of my clients named Devin. When Devin started with me, it's not like she needed to lose a ton of weight or anything, but boy, when we got her food dialed in, and we're going to talk about that on the next video, by the way, food combinations to get you to burn fat. But when we added carbs and added more food, her metabolism sped up so much she was able to start burning off body fat. Then we were able to really dial in her exercises, and I'm going to show you which one she was doing, to where she really created this wonderful, amazing physique, and it looks really great. It's very sustainable, and she didn't have to do anything crazy. So let's get into it. So I've categorized the body into a few different body parts. You'll notice chest is not on here, and that's because most of my clients who are women, I actually don't have them do chest exercises. And the reason for that is sometimes for women it can make your breasts get smaller, or if you have ever gotten breast implants and you have them, a lot of times doctors will tell you not to do chest exercises because of the risk with maybe rupturing some of those. So you've got to be careful, but you can still do a lot of other things and you'll look amazing. So let's start with the legs. Women love to train the legs. Who doesn't? They want that nice butt and the nice, sleek legs. So what are my top 3 exercises for legs? Well, first one is by far lunges. The first one is what's called a reverse lunge. And this is where you would plant your front leg and lunge backwards. This is really focuses on the glutes as much as it does on the quads and even a little bit of hamstring. It's also more gentle on the knees. Now, I think lunges are better than squats in many cases because they can isolate the leg a little bit better. You don't need as heavy of weight. It's something you can do at home really easily. And you can modify it in many cases. So even if you have a knee injury or something like that, you can still do it well. The other variation I like is what's called a split squat or a rear elevated foot lunge, where you would put your rear foot back on a bench or some sort of a chair, and then you're kind of lunging just with that front leg up and down. That one really targets the glutes. It's a wonderful exercise. It's very difficult, and you don't need hardly any weight to get it to work. And man, even I've used it. I use it a lot because it's just so effective, and it works very well. The other exercise would be something called straight leg deadlift. Sometimes this is also known as a Romanian deadlift. And this is where your legs are not locked out, but pretty straight. And you hinge from the hips, keeping your back straight. This works the hamstrings, it works your core, it works your glutes. It's probably the best exercise for the back of your legs, and it's absolutely wonderful. Now, the last exercise I really love for legs for women is step-ups, okay? Step-ups. And this is because the step-ups are great for toning, for getting your heart rate up, and they really focus on that front of your leg, the quad, and they're just so wonderful for keeping that leg nice and sleek and tight and toned there. Depending on how high your step is, they can really engage the glutes, a little bit of hamstrings and calves. Those are my top 3. They're absolutely wonderful. You can do those at home, and you could do a whole workout with just those 3 leg work exercises. So those are my favorite for the legs. Let's look at the back, okay? The back would be your lats. A lot of women call that your bra fat, behind the shoulder blades. So if you're wearing like a dress between your shoulder blades, which is really phenomenal, really fun. And then obviously there's kind of the lower back, or what we'd call the core section. But my favorite 2 back exercises, and these would be both things you could do at home, would be something called a dumbbell. DB stands for dumbbell. That's the little weight you hold. Dumbbell pullovers, okay? Now, this is where you would essentially be lying on your back, and you would take the weight and you kind of come back up over top, and it stretches this specific area, but it also tones the backs of your arms, the triceps, opens up your rib cage and your chest. It's a really great exercise. A lot of people will sometimes think it's for chest, and while it does kind of pull through the chest muscle, it really is isolating and working the lat muscles or the bra fat. Here, let me get my pen. All right. Okay, the other one I like are rows, because the rows are going to work all the way across the back here. This is what you would see if you were wearing that nice dress or a bathing suit or something like that with an open back. These are the dumbbell rows. Okay, now the other thing about these is you can do different variations. If you're in a gym, you can do cable rows, barbell rows, and they all work really fantastic. But those are my top two back. Now, what about shoulders? Well, for women, it's not like you want huge shoulders, right? You want the nice lines and the tones, and in order to do that, the tone, okay, in order to do that, you would do what's called side raises. Now, some people call these lateral raises, okay? And, that's just where you raise the weight out to your sides. This is one of the best exercises for toning the shoulders. You don't need a lot of weight. In fact, you'll find that it's very hard to do a lot of weight, and that's good. That's okay. But this one really isolates that area here, gives you that nice line across the shoulder, which is really great. The other shoulder exercise I love is something called thrusters. Okay? Some people will call this squat and press. That's more a descriptive name, where you're holding the weights up here. You squat and press. This is a great full body workout and engages your core, the front shoulders. It gets your range of motion. You're coming up and pushing overhead. Works a little bit of the traps. It works the legs. Fantastic exercise. I would absolutely see if you can integrate that into your exercise routine. All right, we're moving right along. I'm trying not to take too much time. You can write these down. I'm hopefully cutting in some what they call B-roll, some footage of people doing these exercises, okay? So you don't have to look all of them up. Biceps, this is the front of your arm right here. These are really basic, but if I had to choose two, especially things that you could do at home, I would just do essentially dumbbell regular curls with your palms up, and then hammer curls with your palms in. That's going to work the bicep and this little part of the side of the arm called the brachialis to get a little extra tone here. So we would do curls is the first one. It's not like there's a ton of different exercises for biceps anyway. And then the other one is called hammer curls. Oops. Hammer curls. Okay. All right, we're live here. We're not going to edit that. All right, so those two hit the biceps. So what about the triceps? Well, there's two that I really, really, really like for the triceps, especially for women. One of them is called a kickback, and this is just so great for really hitting the whole part of the tricep. This is where you have your arm and you push straight back. And you can even see when I do it here, it really flexes the tricep, this muscle here, and it's great. So this is what's called the kickback. Kickback, okay? You can do it with a cable if you're in the gym. You can do it with a dumbbell at home. A very great exercise for really kind of getting that nice toned, sleek look for women. It's fantastic. And the other one I really like, this is a tough one, but boy, it's just so good and it's also so functional, are bench dips, okay? Bench dips. And, these are just so fun because they're hard. And even though they're hard, you should absolutely do them. Functionally, they're what you would do to push yourself up. But boy, do they work the triceps so well. Even I do these, and they're just a great exercise you should always incorporate for the triceps. They work every part of the arm. They work your core, your balance. You should definitely have those. So right here are some of the best exercises that will create a very toned, feminine look. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of bonus ones for the abs, which are the two. These are probably the only two you would really ever need to do if you're doing them correctly. Okay, so what would those be? Because everyone wants the abs, right? So add these to your repertoire, first of all. I would never do a workout without at least one of these for each of the body parts, okay? Now, if you have questions about, well, how should I do a workout? And which body parts should I train together, and how many different exercises, and how many sets and reps, and what's the best. Well, now you're getting into, obviously this is what I do with clients, and they're great questions, but this is where you're getting into a program design. And certainly you can swing over to StuSchaefer.com. We've got a lot of great free resources over there, and you can always check that out. But without, specifically working with someone, seeing your body and where you are now and where you want to take it, well, that's kind of the whole point of working with a coach, is they get to look at what your body looks like, what you want it to look like, and then program the workouts for you to get those results. All right, let's look at the abs though. I guess you could just do all these in one workout. It wouldn't be the best. I'm actually not recommending it, but you could do it. All right, abs. Okay, hanging leg raises are the absolute best ab exercise you could possibly do. Now, not long ago, the time I'm recording this, they had the Summer Olympics. And in the Summer Olympics are the divers. They do the dives off the diving boards. And if you look at them, they have some of the best abs. I mean, they are just awesome. And what they do is they spend all day doing these hanging leg raises, because that's part of tucking for the dives. And so this is by far, if I had to just pick one exercise that I would do and nothing else, this is even the one I would do. It just works your abs so perfect. The other one I would do would be a bicycle crunch on the floor. I'm just going to write bicycle here. Bicycles. Because those work every area of the abs. Your whole body's moving. They work the lower abs, the upper abs, the obliques or the side abs. They're very difficult. And what you really want to get into the mindset is trying to do some of the more difficult stuff, because then you need less of it. Okay, don't pick the easy stuff, because then you're going to have to do a lot more of it. These will really help you get carved and toned and etched and chiseled and all sorts of good stuff. So these are the exercises, especially for women. I do even some of them though, because some parts of my body, I just want to look nice and tight and sleek and not bulky at all. And these are some of the best ones. Now, on the next lesson, I'm going to specifically talk about which foods to eat and how to combine foods. This is the one everyone's been asking for, to get your body to burn fat. So stay tuned. Look for that next video. You're going to watch that right now. If you're watching this video, you should see it on the end screen. If you're watching this video right away, hot off the presses, it won't be on the end screen yet. You're going to have to wait a couple days, but we're going to dive into the food combinations, and we'll see you then. All right. Take care. Take care. Bye.